So today, we're going to talk about what is, and I'm not exaggerating here, the single most complex and important machine humanity has ever managed to build. Seriously, it's the hidden engine behind our entire digital world, and for the longest time, building it was considered flat out impossible.
But before we get into the nuts and bolts, just think about this for a second. What would actually happen if all our technological progress just stopped? I mean, for the last 50 years, we've lived in a world of constant exponential growth. What if that engine just died?
Well, that engine has a name you've probably heard of, Moore's Law. It's not really a law, more of an observation that's driven the entire tech industry for half a century. More transistors on a chip, faster computers, better phones, you know the deal. But around 2015, Moore's Law was about to slam into a very real physical brick wall. Progress was about to grind to a halt. To really get why this was such a crisis, you gotta understand how we build these microscopic cities we call microchips. The whole process relies on something that was being pushed to its absolute physical limit. Okay, so the basic recipe is called photolithography. It sounds complicated, but it's basically a four-step dance. You coat a silicon disk, you shine light through a stencil to draw a pattern, you etch away what you just drew, and then you fill it in with metal. You do this over and over, hundreds of times, building a chip layer by tiny layer. Now the key part, the whole bottleneck, was step 2, shining light.
See, the problem is, the size of the things you can draw is limited by the wavelength of the light you're using. And as engineers tried to draw smaller and smaller transistors, the light waves themselves were just too big and clumsy. It's like trying to paint a miniature with a house painting roller. The light would just blur out, and you couldn't get a sharp image. The industry was stuck.
The only way out was to do something completely radical, an idea that had been floating around for over 30 years because it was just so insane. They needed a totally new kind of light, one with a super short wavelength. But this miracle light source came with a set of problems that seemed, well, impossible to solve.
The solution was called extreme ultraviolet light, or EUV. And here's the kicker. The light they were using at 193 nanometers, it behaves like you'd expect. It goes through glass lenses, it travels through the air, no big deal. EUV light, though, at a tiny 13.5 nanometers, is so energetic it gets gobbled up by basically everything. And I mean everything. Glass, air, dust, you name it. That meant you couldn't use lenses, and the entire machine had to operate in a hard vacuum.
And this quote right here just shows you how crazy the idea was at the time. When pioneers like Andy Hawryluk first pitched using EUV back in the 80s, people in the scientific community literally laughed at them. They thought the challenges were so massive, it was just a total waste of time.
Okay, so if lenses are out because they just absorb the light, what's plan B? You gotta use mirrors. But of course, reflecting EUV light wasn't simple either. It required inventing a kind of mirror that had never existed before, and that came with its own list of impossible hurdles.
The solution they came up with is just pure genius. They built these mirrors with over 70 alternating layers of 2 different materials, silicon and molybdenum. Now, get this, each layer is only a few atoms thick. A tiny bit of the EUV light reflects off each layer, and because they're spaced so perfectly, all those tiny weak reflections line up and add together into one single, strong reflected beam. It's a phenomenon called constructive interference, and it's physics at its most precise. And that level of precision meant that these mirrors had to be absolutely flawless. Because the EUV light waves are so tiny, even a microscopic bump on the mirror's surface would scatter the light and ruin the image. So they didn't just have to be smooth, they had to be the smoothest objects humanity has ever made. Period.
To put that in perspective for you, a regular mirror in your bathroom has bumps on it that are on average about 4,000 atoms high. These EUV mirrors, their average bump is just 2 atoms high. Here's my favorite analogy. If you blew one of these mirrors up to the size of Germany, the biggest hill on its entire surface would be less than a millimeter tall. It's just mind-boggling.
This whole project was so colossally difficult that eventually almost everyone gave up. The US government cut its funding. One by one, the big American tech companies walked away. In the end, it all came down to one company, a small Dutch firm called ASML, to take on this impossible task pretty much all by themselves.
And you can see on this timeline, it was a long and lonely road. After the early research showed it was at least possible, the sheer cost and difficulty of actually building a commercial machine scared everyone off. By 2012, ASML was the last one in the game. And they did something unheard of. They went to their biggest customers, Intel, Samsung, TSMC, and basically said, hey, If you ever want to make smaller chips again, you need to give us billions of dollars to finish this thing. It was a crazy all-or-nothing bet.
So, with their customers' money finally on the line, ASML still had to crack the single biggest problem of all: how to actually create a powerful, stable beam of EUV light. And their solution? It's honestly one of the most incredible things I've ever heard of in engineering.
Right, so inside a vacuum chamber, they fire a tiny droplet of molten tin. First, a small laser zaps it, which flattens it into the perfect pancake shape. That was the big breakthrough. Then, a massive, super powerful laser absolutely blasts the pancake, vaporizing it into a plasma that's 40 times hotter than the surface of the sun. That explosion gives off a flash of EUV light, and the machine does this 50,000 times every single second, hitting a moving target without ever missing.
Can you just imagine the chaos happening inside that chamber? You've got 50,000 miniature supernovas going off every second. It creates unbelievable heat and powerful shock waves. So to protect those perfect, priceless mirrors from getting vaporized by tin shrapnel, they have to flush the chamber with hydrogen gas moving at hurricane speeds. It's this perfectly controlled, violent chaos.
And so, after 3 decades, billions and billions of dollars, and solving countless problems that everyone said were impossible, the machine was finally real. And the numbers that describe it, they're just on another level. The latest version of one of these things, the high-NA EUV system, will set you back a cool $400 million for one machine.
And what does $400 million buy you? It buys you precision. When you're stacking hundreds of layers on a chip, the maximum error you're allowed between any 2 layers is just 1 nanometer. That is about the width of 5 silicon atoms. It is just insane. To make that happen, you need unbelievable teamwork. That single nanometer of error, they call it an error budget, has to be divided up. The team working on the optics gets a tiny fraction of a nanometer. The team managing vibration gets a fraction. The team managing heat gets a fraction. They all have to fight for their little piece of that 1 nanometer to make the whole system come together.
The stats are just jaw-dropping. Some parts inside accelerate at 20 Gs. That's 5 times faster than a Formula One car. The mirrors are aimed so accurately it's like standing on Earth with a laser pointer and hitting a specific side of a dime sitting on the moon. And shipping one of these things, it takes 250 shipping containers and 7 jumbo jets. So you have to wonder, why does this machine even exist? I think it comes back to this quote. The reasonable, sensible thing to do was to give up, to say it was too hard, too expensive, just impossible. But a small group of unreasonable people refused to accept that. They persisted, and because they were unreasonable, progress continued.
This machine single-handedly saved Moore's Law. It powers the smartphone in your hand, the AI data centers, pretty much everything. It's a monument to what we can do when we refuse to believe something is impossible. And it leaves you with one final question. If all progress really does depend on the unreasonable, what impossible idea is someone being laughed at for today that's going to change our world tomorrow?